Yes. What's going on? I don't know why the screen is black. Great.
It's just a.
Why is our screen back? Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
You see us?
Yes.
Oh, we can't see. For some reason, our screen is black.
They reset it last time. I had the same issue a while back. They just reset whatever they did and it worked.
I wonder why it's doing that. Let me see if I spotlight someone, does it change? Reset, what is it that they need to reset?
They shut off whatever they had going on. They just reset it.
Is it the jail?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the jail doing that though. I don't think that's the jail. I just spotlighted the AG and it's still not showing.
I can see, well, I could see you just fine. You want to, I can still see the courtroom.
I can't see the judge's courtroom at all.
So, is it the TV? It can't because that small screen is working. Okay, let me see. Let me boot us out. Remove.
We can try to reset it. We can try to just turn it off, turn it back on and see if that helps.
You want us to log out, log back in?
Okay. Let me see. Remove spotlight. Okay, it looks like we might be working now. The record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus John Cunningham, 25-02557 FY. Appearance, please.
Michael Trescone for the people.
Your Honor, good afternoon. Lisa Dwyer appearing on behalf of John Cunningham. We waive the reading and stand mute.
Okay, thank you. Today was the date scheduled for a arraignment, and this is for a felony complaint. Count 1, taxes failure to file false return. Count 2, taxes failure to file false return. And the defense is waiving the formal reading. That's correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, your client's been advised that each count is a felony, maximum penalty 5 years and or $5,000 in fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, and so you have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. If you stand mute, sir, this matter will continue all the way through to the stage of a jury trial. You do have the right to a preliminary examination. You have the right to have that preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date, unless you waive the 21-day timeline or the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21 days. You are scheduled for probable cause conference before Judge Michael Anthony Flores on September 11th at 9:30, and you have a preliminary examination before Judge Flores September 18th at 9:30 in person at the court. You have the right to have the prosecutor establish on the record that they have sufficient probable cause that the felonies alleged were committed and sufficient probable cause to charge you as the person who committed the felony. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. You're innocent until proven guilty. And you can require the prosecutor prove your guilt by proceeding to trial and proving each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent at your trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to see, hear, or question in court any witness called to testify against you, the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf, the right to present evidence as to a defense to the charges being brought against you, and you can waive silence and not and testify at your trial if you like. The court's going to enter a not guilty plea on behalf of the defendant and note that he is standing mute. So counsel, where is your client residing?
He resides in Traverse City, the greater Traverse City area.
I need his address.
John, do you want to? John, will you give me your
address? Yeah, 145 East 12th Street. That's in Traverse City, 49684.
Are you employed?
Yes, I am.
Where?
Clean and Crisp Linen Rental. I work for her, for Carrie Rupley, and then I also have my own business, screen printing and embroidery business. That's Dune Coast Designs, LLC.
Thank you. What's your phone number?
Area code 231-883-0616.
Counsel, you can address bond.
Your Honor, may I start by saying I believe the AG has no objection to a personal bond in this case. But I would also say that Mr. Cunningham is this is his first run-in with the law, I believe, and he has stable residency in Traverse City. There was an agreement to let him be released after booking yesterday and report today on his own. However, the message didn't get to the people at the station apparently, so he stayed overnight. But he's intending to appear for all court appearances because he has a meritorious defense, and he's retained counsel.
Thank you. And that's accurate for you, Mr. Truscone.
Yes, Your Honor. The only condition we would ask that you set a relatively high PR bond and ask that there be a no contact order with the co-defendant Vincent Fockman Jr.
Is there a co-defendant on the complaint?
Well, it's not a co-defendant as to the tax charges. There was a co-defendant at the time of the arrest and the search warrant. So I would ask that there be a no contact with Vincent Fockman Jr.
Yeah, I don't think that that's necessary. In fact, I think contacting him is going to be required in order to build a defense in this case. So he's not a co-defendant on this case.
Oh yeah, I don't have a co-defendant listed here. Was it the intention of the Office of the Attorney General to charge Mr. Fockman as well? Because we don't have a co-defendant.
Mr. Fockman is also charged with tax crimes arising from the same investigation, Your Honor.
I
misspoke.
I misspoke. My warrant does list him as a co-defendant.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor.
Vincent Eugene Fockman Jr. No contact order will be entered for that purpose. Okay, let's see, Bond, and to be clear, I did review the defendant's prior criminal history. There is one prior conviction, so this is not his first run-in with the law. However, this is clearly a non-assaultive crime. He has retained counsel He's appeared to get this matter resolved. I trust that he'll return on his own recognizance. Bond will be set in the amount of 50,000. Personal recognizance. A no contact order with co-defendant will enter. You're not to travel outside the state unless you first get approval from the court. You're not to possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. You're not to use drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You must report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release from custody. Do you have any questions about your bond condition, sir?
The only question I have is mid-October, I'm supposed to go to the Print United Expo in Orlando. It's in relation with my screen printing and embroidery business. I'm already registered for that. It's a convention. That's the only time I'd be traveling out of state. So if I can go to that.
What are the dates?
I'd have to check my phone. It's the 18th to the 20th or the 20th to the 22nd of October. I'm a little fuzzy. It's 18th to 20th or 20th to 22nd. It's a 3-day convention. It's the
But
largest.
it's in October. It's not September.
It's in October.
Correct?
It's in October, yes. In Orlando. I could get you the specifics on my next hearing, or I can give it to my attorney.
Yeah, your next hearing is gonna be before Judge Flores. Right, your next meeting, I don't know where I missed it. I'm gonna grant the approval for the convention. I'm gonna date it for the time period of October 18th to the 22nd, just to capture the suggested dates, but your attorney can make that clear to either
Okay.
pretrial services or to Judge Flores at your next court date, which again is on September 11th.
All right, thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
No problem. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Your Honor, can you put me in a breakout room with Mr. Wire briefly? After the arraignment.
Okay, off the record. Someone should put them in the breakout room. On the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Michael Gramza, 25-02664 FY, appearance please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. George Anid, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Michael David Garms III, and sitting to my right is extern.
State your name for the record, please.
Nicholas Mitchell.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, you are Mr. Michael Gramza III.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Gramza, I do have a felony complaint here. The allegations are that on or about September 2nd, 2025 at 6200 South Pennsylvania Avenue, that's in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. And we know that as the Meyer, a supermarket, while Meyer was open, allegedly to the public, steal property of the store that was offered at a price of $200 or more, but less than $1,000, contrary to Michigan Compile Law 750.356C. So that's count 1, retail fraud in the first degree. And the retail fraud second or subsequent offense notice has been attached, alleging that you did, it says in it further appearing that on or about May 2nd, 2025, said defendant was previously convicted of violating Michigan Compile Law 750.356D in the Ingham County, and therefore this violation of MCL 750.356D1 constitutes retail fraud in the first degree that enhances your penalty to the maximum sentence 5 years in prison and or $10,000 in fines, or 3 times the value difference in price of the property stolen, obtained, or attempted to be obtained, whichever is greater. Do you understand the count 1, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, there's a count 2 and count 3, both police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing. The allegations are that on or about September 2nd, 2025 at 6200 South Pennsylvania in Lansing, Michigan, Ingham County, that you allegedly in count 1 did assault, count 2, did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, or oppose. In count 2, it was Summer Hayes. In count 3, it was Officer Armando Pellegrino. Both police officers of the Lansing Police Department that the defendant knew or had reason to know were performing their duties contrary to the Michigan Compiled Law 756.81 D1. They're both felonies. Maximum penalty was 2 years and or $2,000 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Count two. I'm sorry, we did count two. Count four. Attempted police officer disarming non-firearm. The allegations are again on or about September 2nd, 2025 at 6200 South Pennsylvania, City of Lansing, Ingham County, that you did attempt to commit the following listed offense, and in the attempt did act towards the commission of that offense, but failed in the perpetuation or was prevented of the execution thereof, contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.92. That's police officer disarming non-firearm. Alleging that you did take a taser from the lawful possession of Armando Pellegrino, a police officer with the Lansing Police Department, and this was contrary to MCL 750.4791. Count four is a misdemeanor, and the maximum penalty is 2 years and or $1,250 in fines. Upon conviction of attempted felony, the court shall order the law enforcement to collect DNA identification profiling sample. There's an habitual offender fourth offense notice. Second offense. There's an habitual offender second offense notice. It says take notice that the defendant was previously convicted of a felony or an attempt to commit a felony, and that on or about May 2nd, 2025, he was convicted of the offense of resisting and obstructing police in violation of MCL 750.81 D1 in the 54A District Court of Ingham County, State of Michigan. Therefore, the defendant is subject to the penalties provided by MCL 769.10. That would enhance your maximum penalty to 1 1/2 times the maximum sentence on the primary offense or a lesser term. The maximum penalty cannot be less than the maximum term for the first conviction. Do you understand the charge, Mr. Gramza, that was read, and the maximum penalty in each count?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to an attorney. Mr. Annette is representing you today for the purpose of your arraignment only. You have the right to have an attorney represent you at all of your court appearances and if you are questioned by law enforcement. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, you have the right to make a request to have the public defender's office appointed at the expense of the public. You understand your right to counsel, correct?
Sure.
Is he requesting the public defender's office?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. The court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf at this time. If you opt to stand mute, the matter will continue all the way through to the jury trial stage. You have the right to a preliminary examination because you are being charged with felonies in this complaint. You have the right to have the preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date unless you waive the 21-day timeline or the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21-day timeline. You're currently scheduled for probable cause conference before Judge Stacia Buchanan, September 12th, 9 o'clock in the morning. You have a preliminary examination before Judge Buchanan on September 19th at 1:45 in person at the court. You should have received a notice to appear with those dates. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
At the time of your preliminary examination, you have the right to require the prosecutor establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a felony was committed and sufficient probable cause to charge you as the person who committed the felony counts that you're being charged with. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. You're innocent until proven guilty. You can maintain your innocence and take this matter to jury trial and make the prosecutor prove each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You can maintain silence at trial and not have silence be used against you, or you can waive your silence and testify. You have the right to see, hear, or question any witness called to testify against you, the right to present evidence to your defense to these charges, and the right to maintain silence and not have it used against you. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
I was employed, Your Honor.
Okay, you're not employed now. How are you supporting yourself?
I was getting back to work. I just reached out and I'm supposed to be starting it with, integrity soon. Integrity, with carpentry.
Okay, can you put your head up when you talk so that I can hear what you're saying? What's your address,
Sorry.
sir?
Sorry, Your Honor. I was supposed to be starting back up with integrity, as a carpenter. I'm a journeyman carpenter in the union. I've been with the union for about 6 years now.
What's your home address?
125 Lincoln Street, Perry, Michigan, 48872.
Phone number?
517-749-5824.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
Probation,
Which court?
54A with, my probation officers Brendan and Hannah.
Which judge?
Stacia Buchanan.
Thank you. You can address bond counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd ask the court to consider a low 10% bond in this matter. If the court's inclined to do a PR bond, that ask for that, of course. Mr. Graham's Your Honor, the charges of the complaint, it's uncertain whether they are assaultive in nature, as we know, are resisting and obstructing. Could be as a matter of just pulling a hand away, allegedly. And then the attempt for disarming, again, that's also unclear whether that's assaultive in nature. In this matter, I'd ask for a PR bond with 10% bond, so Mr. Grams can go try and find work, pay for his probation that he's currently on, and continue moving on with his life, Your Honor. From my understanding, he has not failed to appear for any court matters in the past. And he assures that you will not have any issues with them. Thank you.
The court received an affidavit of probable cause today in order to review the charges. The allegations are more than just mere tensing up or pulling your arm away. The allegations are that the officers were dispatched to the Meyer in response to alleged retail fraud, that they identified Mr. Gramza as a suspect along with others, that they attempted to make contact and gave a lawful order for Mr. Gramza to stop, to which that order was not followed. The officers, but Mr. Gramza allegedly created distance and began to run away from the officers. There was a chase of some sort that said that once they made contact, Officer Pellegrino had to go hands-on with Gramza as Officer Haynes caught up. The other two suspects for the call had now gotten away. Gramza was falling to the ground, and that officers Haynes got on the ground to grab Mr. Gramza's left arm and attempted to get it behind his back. Allegedly, Mr. Gramza kept pushing up off the ground with his right hand on the ground. Officer Haynes used strength and leverage to push Gramza over, and re-engage with Mr. Graham's left forearm and attempt to pry it loose with strength and leverage, but Gramza had his hands pinned to the ground and was attempting to push up off the ground. During the incident, officers gave Mr. Gramza loud verbal commands to put his hands behind his back. He allegedly refused. He continued attempting to push officers off of him. While fighting with Mr. Gramza, Officer Pellegrino suddenly felt a intense pressure on his department-issued taser. Mr. Gramza allegedly had his hand on the officer's taser and was attempting to pull it out of the holster. Officer Pellegrino let go of his grip and began to strike Mr. Gramza on the side of his head with a closed fist in an attempt to retain his taser. Officer Haynes yelled out, "He's got my taser." Officer Pellegrino dispatched blows to the male twice with a closed fist to get him to release the taser. So this is more than just a situation of allegations of just tensing up or maybe moving your hands. In addition to that, when the court reviewed the defendant's criminal history, the defendant was before this court all summer long. Looks like May 2nd, 2025, attempted assault on a police officer. He pled guilty to that. He is currently on probation for 12 months. It looks like on June 9th, 2025, misdemeanor, breaking and entering without entering illegal entry without owner's permission. That he pled guilty to, got credit for 3 days served. And here we are. There was an alleged incident, it looks like since then, in Flint, misdemeanor assault, domestic assault, that was actually 2022. He had a 2022 issue that it looks like he did probation for, but he does have some assaultive history. He does have what appears to be here, some assaultive nature in this particular complaint, and he's on probation after having 2 convictions this summer. So a personal recognizance bond is not appropriate in this matter. The bond in this matter will be set in the amount of $12,000, 10% with GPS tether. While out on bond, you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to possess a gun, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol, drugs, unless you have a valid prescription. And you must report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release, and you need to come to all of your court dates. Do you understand that, Mr. Gramza?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have any questions for the court?
No, Your Honor. Can I get my bond one more time?
You're also not to be at the area of 6200 South Pennsylvania Avenue.
Okay, can I get my bond one more time, Your Honor?
Yes, it's 12,000, 10% with GPS tether.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record,
No,
counsel?
Your Honor.
You're all set, sir. State of Michigan versus Jemiah Myers, 25-02663 FY, appearance, please.
And Virginia, this is public defender on behalf of Jemiah Myers, appearing via Polycom this afternoon.
You Jemiah Myers?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Myers, I have a felony complaint here. The allegations are that on or about September 2nd, 2025, at the area of 1021 Orchard Street, which is the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan, that you allegedly committed the act in count 1 of police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing. The allegations are that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger an officer Michael Lexi, a police officer of the Lansing Police Department that the defendant knew or had a reason to know was performing his duties, and that this was in violation of MCL 750.81D, Count one is a felony. The maximum penalty is 2 years and or $2,000 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed if the assault was committed in a place of confinement or under MCL 750.81D6 for another violation arising from the same transaction. Count two is assault or assault and battery, also alleging that you did make an assault or assault and battery upon an Isaiah James Myers, contrary to MCL 750.811. That's a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Do you understand the charge and the maximum penalty in each count, ma'am?
Yes.
You have the right to counsel. Mr. Annette is going to represent you today for the purpose of your arraignment only, but you have the right to an attorney at all of your court appearances, and you have the right to be represented by an attorney if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, you can request to have the public defender's office represent you at the expense of the public. You understand your right to counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, anything you put in writing can be used against you. You can plead guilty, you can plead not guilty, or you can stand mute. You have the right to have a preliminary examination as to count one because it's a felony. You have the right to have that exam within 21 days of today's date unless you waive the 21-day timeline or the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21 days. You're scheduled for probable cause conference before me, Judge Kristen Simmons, Friday, September 12th at 8:30 in the morning. You have a preliminary examination before me in person at the court Thursday, September 18th at 9 a.m. You should have received a notice to appear and Zoom instructions, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Again, you have the right at the time of your exam to have the prosecutor establish that they have sufficient probable cause that the felony in count one was committed and sufficient probable cause to charge you as the individual who has committed the felony. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. You're innocent until proven guilty. You can require the prosecutor prove your guilt by proving each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You can maintain your silence at trial and not have silence be used against you, or you can waive silence and testify if you'd like. You have the right to question or cross-examine in court any witness called to testify against you. Your right to present any defenses as to the charges being brought against you, and the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf. Do you have any questions about those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Is she requesting the public defender's office?
Yes.
The court's entering a plea of not guilty on your behalf. What's your current home address?
832 East Grand River, Williamston, 48865.
Are you employed?
Yes,
Where?
at Red Cedar Lodge.
What's your phone number?
517-445-6308.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No.
You can address bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd ask the court to consider a PR bond on this matter. Ms. Myers has 4 minor children that she takes care of, all 4 in the Williamson home. All her kids go to the Lansing School District, and she takes care of them in regards to going to school as well. She reports that she has to take her kids to school tomorrow as well, as it's a weekday. I know, Your Honor, as a court of mere allegations, and during the course of proceedings, Ms. Myers will, try to prevail on these allegations. I understand that one of the charges is assaultive in nature. I just ask the court to consider looking aside from that in this matter, as Ms. Myers will assure there'll be no public safety risk, and she will make sure she comes to court. Thank you.
In reviewing Ms. Myers' criminal history, it's very disturbing. She has over 10 charges assaultive in nature. This is the 11th time she's been charged with something assaultive. She's sustained some convictions, but not on all 10. There's a lot of dismissed. And even some one charge was, I think, even a child abuse. Something's going on here. I recognize there's some allegations that then she's innocent until proven guilty. But I don't know a lot of people who've been falsely accused 11 times over the course of their life of assaultive actions. That's a lot. And in various different jurisdictions, not just before Ingham County. So something's going on here. Count 1 being police officer assault. The allegations are not that she assaulted the police. The allegations are that she ran, I believe. But the allegations in count 2 is that she allegedly assaulted a sibling. And so the court, although concerned, is going to grant a personal recognizance bond, but it will be with GPS tether. Bond is set at 1,000 personal recognizance. You must wear GPS tether. You must report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. You're not to be at the address of 1021 Orchard Street. You're not to have contact directly, indirectly, through third party or any other mechanism through with an Isaiah Myers. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not to be wherever he lives, works, or goes to school. You're not to have any further allegation of assaultive or threatening behavior. If we get any allegation of assaultive or threatening behavior, your bond will be revoked. You will remain in the custody of the jail while this matter pens. I know that will happen because I'm the judge that's presiding over this case. I will remand you. You will stay there until the case is resolved. And so you'll have to figure out another way or through the courts, childcare for your children. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You need to report to pretrial services again within 48 hours. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind, and you're not to use alcohol or drugs unless you have a valid prescription. I'm going to order that you participate in random urinalysis testing once a week. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Do you have any questions about your bond conditions?
I do have one question. Never mind, sorry. I don't have any questions.
Okay, you're all set. Thank you.
Thank you.
State of Michigan versus Jessica Cardenas, 25-0266. 125-02253. Appearance, please.
Is that the-
Cardenas.
Yes, let me just find her. Oh my God. George and Ed, this is a public defender, on behalf of Ms. Cardenas, for purposes of arraignment only, Your Honor. After you pleaded not guilty,
The court will enter a plea of not guilty. And you are Jessica Cardenas.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Cardenas, I have two separate files for you. First taking a file ended in 661. I do have a felony complaint. The allegations here are that on or about September 2nd, 2025 at 921 West Holmes Road in Lansing, Michigan, that you allegedly committed the act of robbery unarmed, and that you did in the course of committing a larceny of a phone and stolen property from Kroger, use force or violence against a person, that being a Bangora Hussein, contrary to MCL 750.530. Now that's a felony. The maximum penalty in count one is 15 years in prison, and your DNA is to be taken upon arrest. Count two is retail fraud second degree, also alleging at the same address on September 2nd, that you allegedly, while Kroger was open to the public, did steal property of the store that was offered for sale at a price of $200 or more, but less than $1,000, contrary to MCL 750.356D. Count two is a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 1 year and or $2,000 in fines, or 3 times the value difference in property stolen, obtained, attempted to be obtained, whichever is greater. You understand the charge or charges read in that file and the maximum penalty on count one and count two. I also have a citation here from July 22nd, 2025. This is gonna be City of Lansing versus Jessica Cardenas. And in this matter, the allegations are at that date and time of approximately 12:22 a.m. at the area of Park Avenue at or near South Dexter Drive, that while inside or operating a Durango, a vehicle, police officers made contact and you provided false information to the police. And so that is a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. You understand the charge there?
Yes.
Okay, in each of these matters, you have the right to counsel. You have the right to request the public defender's office to represent you if you can't afford to hire an attorney. You also have the right to have an attorney represent you if you're questioned by law enforcement and at all of your court appearances. You understand those rights? You understand those rights, ma'am?
Yes.
Is she requesting the public defender?
yes, Your Honor.
In the felony matter, you have the right to preliminary examination within 21 days of today's date, unless you waive the 21 days or the court finds good cause to go beyond that time. You have the right to have the prosecutor establish sufficient probable cause that a felony was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you as the person who committed the felony. You have a probable cause conference before me, Judge Kristen Simmons, Friday, September 12th, 8:30 in the morning. Preliminary examination is before me on September 18th at 8:30 in person at the court. Did you get a notice to appear? Can you hear me?
Yes.
What was
I'm
my
sorry, I didn't
question?
hear your question. I didn't hear your question.
Did you get a notice to appear?
Yes.
When is your next court date?
For
For the last one in July?
What dates did I just give you? I'm trying to see if you're paying attention to what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm trying to, I have a notice to appear I just received, but I
What
haven't
dates
got
are
one
on-
prior.
What are dates are on that for you to appear?
12/25 and 9/18/25.
That is correct. And that is
Okay.
for the felony file. The incident allegedly occurring at the Kroger. That's what those dates are for. The furnishing false information, you have a pretrial. That pretrial is before me on September 15th, which is a Monday at 10:30. Did you get a notice to appear for that?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And all of these files, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So that means you're innocent until proven guilty. You can require the prosecutor to prove your guilt by proving each element of each of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. At the time of trial, you can maintain silence and they can't use it against you. You can testify if you like. You have the right to question or cross-examine any witness called to testify against you in court, and the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf. Do you have any questions about any of those rights?
No,
Are you currently employed?
yes.
Where?
Competitive cleaning company,
Repeat the name.
competitive cleaning company.
Okay, what's your home address?
I am homeless. I'm staying at Dietrich Park.
Do you have a phone number?
No, I do not.
Are you on probation?
No,
Are you on parole?
no.
You can address bond counting.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd ask the court to consider a PR bond of course, the court has not applied a low 10% bond. Ms. Cardenas' income is very minuscule. It's on a weekly basis and depending, I believe, on the type of job she's doing. She currently is homeless, also hopping around from place to place. From my recollection this morning, I did get the wrong file. That's why I was having confusion. I had it under the wrong name. So my information is very limited. I could be mistaken with what I'm saying. But she doesn't have a phone number at this time, Your Honor. She does assure she will come to court and you will have no issues in regards to Ms. Jessica. And that's taking into consideration the two factors that the court looks at. Thank you.
I think that the major concern that I have in this particular felony file is that although she's being charged with a robbery unarmed, the allegations that there was an assault made upon the police officer, that police officer had to be hospitalized for treatment following the alleged assault, which I'm positive that, or confident, I should say positive, that if this were to go to a preliminary examination, it's possible that the prosecutor's office would request additional charge for that, because it was not charged with an assault, although it's noted that their alleged assault took place. And I think that's the bigger concern, is the threat to the public safety. This is allegedly a situation where someone is paid to secure a supermarket and trying to interrupt or disrupt a possible retail fraud, that person ends up with alleged injury. So that's the concern for the court. The court's gonna assess a bond of 10% with GPS tether. The following conditions include regular urinalysis testing for drugs and alcohol, no weapons, no firearms, no contact with the alleged victim in this matter. You need to come to all of your court dates. You need to report to pretrial services. You're not to use drugs or alcohol. No travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. Do you have any questions at this time?
No,
Any additional matters for the record?
In regards to the misdemeanor file, what was the bond?
I'm sorry, bond in that one will be 500 personal recognizance,
Can we do a?
10%,
Yeah.
500, 10%. You're all set, man. State of Michigan versus Tyrone Swilly, 25-01450. Counsel, can I have your appearance?
George Annette, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Swilly, for purposes of arraignment.
Oh,
Are you Mr. Tyrone Swilly?
yes, I am.
Yeah, Mr. Swilly's been arraigned on this matter before. Looks like he was arraigned. His probable cause conference was supposed to be August 15th, and exam was supposed to be on August 22nd. Mr. Swilly appeared for a probable cause conference. It was held on the record before Judge Buchanan, and it was to continue to exam. He failed to appear for his preliminary examination by 1:34 p.m. on August 22nd, so a warrant was issued. What happened, Mr. Swilly?
I had the phone mixed up. You know, I thought I could do it over the phone and not come in. So when I called down to Lance, when I called Saginaw, I was gonna turn myself in to Saginaw on this warrant. And Saginaw told me I had to go to Lance and turn myself in. So I tried to follow rules, you know, do what I had to do to get here, try to get this matter taken care of, because I do work, you know.
Did you turn yourself in on this warrant?
Yes, I did.
Okay, you called Saginaw. Why did you call Saginaw for a matter that you missed in Lansing?
Okay, no, Lansing told, well, my parole agent told me I had to turn myself in to Saginaw. See, I'm on parole.
You on parole?
Yes, but she thought I could turn myself in Saginaw for this case what I'm on now. But
you on parole, sir, you should know the system a little bit better than this. You know good and well if you got a case in Lansing, you can't call Saginaw.
I mean, no. My agent told me to turn myself in to Saginaw because Lance would come and get me. But it didn't go like that. So I had my, you follow me now?
I follow what you're saying, but I still feel like you should know the system far better than this. What made you believe that you can appear by telephone for a preliminary examination when your paperwork tells you must appear? It says in-person appearance is required.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. When I did my pre-conference, right? My pre-conference on the 15th, I went by the 15th and didn't know that I had to appear in court. In other words, I would have been here.
You didn't, what do you mean you didn't know you had to appear in court?
I mean, I thought I can do the Zoom, whatever you call it. But that was my mistake. I ain't gonna lie, that's why I came to take care of it now. Now I know what to do and I'm gonna do it from now on.
What do you gotta do now, sir?
When they set me the court date, I'm gonna come back down to Lansing.
When we send you the court date?
I mean, I got the court date right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
I got it right now. I'm looking at it. So that
What's-
means I'm gonna come
What's
back,
the court date?
come back down here. It's on,
What date
it's
is
on
that?
11. It's on 11 at
In
10:15
person at the court?
in
What
person.
judge?
So I'm gonna come. Huh?
What judge?
Oh, let me see. What a judge. Let me see what a judge at. I got to see what a judge at. Tracy, Stacy, what's her name?
Stacia Buchanan.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna come here. I'm gonna come down here.
That's exactly where you better come down, because this is where the court date is.
Okay, well, I'm
Okay, sir.
gonna follow that rule.
Very good. And you're staying in Saginaw right now?
Yes, I did.
What's the address?
On 119.5 North 7th Street,
What's your
Saginaw,
phone number?
Michigan. My phone number, 517-894-6182.
Are you employed?
Yes, I work for my family.
Doing what?
I work at a car wash.
In Saginaw?
Yes, I do.
All your previous bond conditions will continue. I'll reinstate your bond at 500 personal recognizance. You need to come back to court, okay, sir?
Yes, I will. Thank you, ma'am.
You're all set.
Okay, then, thank you.
State of Michigan versus Jessica McCoy, 25-02669. Appearance, please.
George Dennett, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Jessica McCoy for purposes of arraignment only today, entering plea of not guilty.
It must be cold down there because everybody got the sleeves inside. But I mean, I don't know what's going on. Okay, you are Jessica McCoy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. McCoy, we have a plate here. The allegations on the misdemeanor complainer that on or about September 2nd, 2025 at 6200 South Pennsylvania, which is the South Side Meyer, that you did allegedly while Meyer was open to the public, steal property of that store that was offered for sale at a price of $200 or more, but less than $1,000, contrary to MTL 750.356D. It's a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 1 year and or $2,000 in fines or 3 times the value difference in the price of the property stolen, obtained, or attempted to be obtained, whichever is greater. You understand the charge and the maximum penalty, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You have the right to an attorney. Mr. Annette is representing you today only for the arraignment, but you do have the right to an attorney to represent you if you're questioned by law enforcement or if you appear in court on any other court dates on this file. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, you can request to have the public defender's office represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, anything you put in writing can be used against you. You can plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. But standing mute will just continue this matter all the way to a jury trial. And you have the right to jury trial. You have the right to require the prosecutor prove each element of the charge of retail fraud beyond a reasonable doubt. You can maintain silence at trial and not have it used against you, or you can waive your silence and testify at your trial if you'd like. You can subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf, and you have the right to see, hear, or question any witness called to testify against you. You're scheduled for pre-trial before Judge Buchanan. It's going to be on Monday, September 22nd at 2 p.m. You should have received a notice to appear. Did you get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Requesting the public defender's office.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court's entering a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Are you employed?
Yes,
Where?
I'm an independent contractor at Ambrosia Modeling.
You say you're an independent contractor and what?
Ambrosia Modeling.
Okay. Let's see, what's your home address?
223 North Main Street, apartment 118 in Eaton Rapids, Michigan.
You said it's 222 North Main?
223 North Main Street, Eaton Rapids, Michigan, apartment 118.
It needs to be updated in the system.
Is it the St. John's address?
It is,
Eaton Rapids.
updated. This is my first offense, my record, but it is on my ID.
Ma'am. Was I talking to you about updating or was I talking to somebody here? And that was,
I thought you were talking to me.
no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to someone here because the address in our system was 222. That's why I was confirming. 223, and no, and then your attorney was talking to me at the time that you interjected. It's an Eaton Rapids address, not St. John's.
Hey, can you repeat that address one more time?
No problem. 223 North Main Street, apartment 118, Eaton Rapids.
Thank you.
What's your phone number? I'm talking to you now. What is your phone number?
818-854-1847.
You said this is your first conviction, so you're not on probation or parole, correct? I mean, your first interaction with law enforcement, not a conviction, correct?
Yes.
I confirmed that on her criminal history. You can address bond.
And as for PR bond in this matter, based on the circumstances that she just stated and the court just verified, this offense, based on the conversation, Ms. McCoy has an affirmative defense of intent in this matter. I'd ask for PR bond so she can be released, go about her business, conduct work, and come to court on time. We discussed the importance of coming to court. She assured me that there'll be no problems.
Thank you. I don't understand why the pretrial arraignment bond recommendation is citing a count 1 obstructing police and then retail fraud in the second degree. She was not charged in my complaint with a count 1 obstructing police. Nonetheless, I've confirmed that this is a first offense pending on her criminal history. The court believes a personal recognizance bond is appropriate. You are required to report to your future court dates to avoid a warrant. You have a requirement not to possess firearm, ammunition, or weapons of any kind. You're not to be at 6200 South Pennsylvania. Which is
Okay.
the south side. Meyer. You're not to use alcohol or drugs unless you have a valid prescription, and you're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. Do you have any questions about your bond conditions?
I am getting a PR bond then?
You are getting a PR bond, yes.
Okay, then no question.
Okay, you're all set.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
500 PR.
500 PR. State of Michigan versus Elizabeth Panic. I have 25-02662, 25-02534. Appearance, please.
George and Ed, Assistant Public Defender, behalf of Elizabeth Panic for purposes of arraignment only, Your Honor.
You're Elizabeth Panic?
Yes.
Okay, I have two files for you. First, taking the it's misdemeanor file. The misdemeanor file, I do have a misdemeanor complaint. The allegations are that you committed the act of 5th-degree arson in that on or about September 3rd, 2025 at 1532 North Magnolia in Lansing, Michigan, Ingham County, that you did willfully or maliciously burn, damage, or destroy by fire or explosion personal property having a value of $1,000 or less, contrary to MCL 750.77. And that's a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 1 year in jail and or $2,000 in fines, or 3 times the value of the property damage destroyed, whichever is greater. And then I also have in file number 25-02534. Citation that alleges that on or about May 5th, 2025 at 1532 North Magnolia, both counts 1 and count 2, dog at large, that you did, being the owner of a dog named a doodle named Mona and a doodle named Maui, allowed the dogs to run at large, contrary to Article 9, Section 1A of the Ingham County Animal Control Ordinance, adopted by Ingham County Board of Commissioners. Both counts in 1 and 2 are misdemeanors. The maximum penalty 90 days and or $500 in fines. Do you understand the charges read in both files and the maximum penalties in both files, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, you do have the right to an attorney. Mr. Annette is here for your arraignment. You have the right to have an attorney represent you if you're questioned by law enforcement, and the right to an attorney as this case proceeds through the court. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, you can request the public defender's office to represent you at the expense of the public. You understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay, is she requesting the public defender's office?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You can plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. For the purposes of today, the court's entering a plea of not guilty on your behalf for both files. You do have the right to the presumption of innocence. So ma'am, you're innocent until proven guilty. And you have the right to require the prosecutor prove your guilt by proceeding to trial and proving each element of each of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to see, hear, or question any witness called to testify against you, the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf. You can waive your silence and testify at your trial, or you can maintain silence and they can't use it against you. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
Okay, you have in both files a pretrial before Judge Tony Flores. Both of them are going to be September 16th at 9:30. Did you receive your notice to appear for those?
Yes.
Are you employed?
I'm on long-term disability through the state of Michigan.
What's your home address? Is it the address on Magnolia?
Yeah, I own that house, but due to domestic violence, I had to leave, and I've been staying at my dad's house in New York with my children at 33 Apple Blossom Boulevard in Lancaster.
Like the state of New York? You're not gonna be allowed to leave. Can't leave the state. That's gonna be one of your bond conditions.
But my
I don't know
children
what-
have
I don't,
just.
let me just stop you real quick. Does she have a pending domestic?
No, Your Honor, there's, somebody we're gonna arraign later today that's charged with domestic violence for being the, complaining witness.
You said there's someone who's gonna arraign today for what?
Yeah, what's his name? I believe it's Travis Tubbs. I think he's charged with domestic violence for being was he not charged?
I don't have a Travis Stubbs on my list of arraignments today. Did you meet with Mr. Tubbs?
I did.
I'm sorry?
Was denied. His charges were denied.
Okay,
Okay, got it.
so,
Okay, so the thought was he was gonna be charged with domestic violence, which would have been a no contact order, which wouldn't necessarily mean that she couldn't live there.
I didn't discuss
Yeah,
anything about it.
got it. I'm just trying to think this through. Okay, so nonetheless, there's not a no contact order at this time. And my complaint does not list a witness or victim, or doesn't list him as a victim, so I would not enter a no contact order. You said you own this property?
We jointly own.
Oh, okay,
Property.
jointly owned. Oh, that's not good then.
He bullied
Your
me
Honor.
out of my house and I
Okay, just-
couldn't.
Elizabeth, we talked about not talking about anything on the record. Your Honor, this is a concern. She drove in from New York last night and got arrested shortly after. She came to get her belongings and go back to take care of her children. I think she was planning on leaving by this weekend
Her children are where?
in New York.
Your children are already in New York?
She's been there for months.
Okay, so you've been already residing in New York. And
Yeah.
got it. And so now you've got a dog at large from May, so you've been there,
She came here to, I believe, to handle that dog at large and then got arrested.
got it,
Last
and then to get your belongings. And so she needs an opportunity to get her belongings, and then she wants to go back to
New York. to take
New
care of
York.
kids.
and then appear in court virtually to resolve
At,
these.
at least for the pretrial, from my understanding, she has no problem coming back for a final pretrial or jury trial. Of course, we'd ask for a Zoom appearance for final pretrial in this situation. My understanding, she has no criminal history besides the dog situations that she has going on.
She does not have any prior criminal.
Yeah, I think the last one was just dismissed. There was a dog license or something like that.
And that wouldn't have gone on.
Yeah. So she's asking the court so she can't leave the state of Michigan. That was one of her major concerns. Because she only wanted to come here temporarily.
Got it. Okay, well, okay. Is this a husband, ex-husband, do you know, or boyfriend?
They're in a relationship. I believe they have kids together.
Okay, so the partner, they jointly own that property.
Correct.
Okay, and you have an address in New York for her mail to go to?
I don't.
Okay, is that what you're saying, ma'am? You want your mail to go to New York?
Yes,
What's
please.
What's the address?
33 Apple Blossom, it's 2 words, Boulevard, Lancaster, New York, 14086.
You said it was Apple Blossom what?
Boulevard,
Boulevard. What's your phone number?
734-277-8255. 1216.
Okay, you have your next court dates. We'll note here that you can appear via Zoom, which you already have the option of appearing via Zoom for your pre-trials. As it relates to appearing in person for any final pre-trial, your attorney's gonna have to make a request before Judge Flores for that, okay? That will be up to him even if he has, I don't even know if he has final pre-trials and you're
Yes,
assigned to him,
if
correct?
she is appointed by, or gets public defender's office, I'll be representing her. I'll make the request. They do have to be in person, but I believe in this circumstance,
Right.
it may be allowed.
Sounds good. Okay, so Mr. Nid is the public defender assigned to Judge Flores, which is the judge presiding over your cases. So if this is a case that needs to proceed to a final pretrial, he'll make the appropriate motion to the court at that time. At this time, it's noted that you'll be residing in Lancaster, New York. Bond in each file, well, the arson file, 500 personal recognizance. The dog at large is gonna be 100 personal recognizance. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to use drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Not to possess a firearm or any other weapon. Do you have any questions at this time? Any additional matters for the record?
Just for disconnect, just so you know, you are allowed to go back to the house, to my understanding, but there's no assaultive threatening behavior, AKA, if he calls the police and says you're bullying him, you could essentially be arrested. So be very cautious when going back to the house.
Yes, sir.
Nothing further.
Thank you. You're all set.
Thank you.
State of Michigan versus Lisa Williams, 25-02659, 5-02060, 25L2956271. Appearance, please.
George, and this is public defender on behalf of Ms. Williams' purposes, arraignment only today, entering plea of not guilty.
Ms. Williams is struggling. Oh, boy. Get up. You all right in there?
Fine.
You're Lisa Williams?
Yes.
Okay, where you sleep? Okay, well, I'll give you a moment to wake up.
It's okay. I don't mind.
You need to be alert.
Okay. Would you like me to sit back down and let the other person go ahead?
I'm sorry?
Would you like me to sit back down and let the other person go ahead and then come back up?
No, I'm not gonna give you that much time. You can just stand there and take some deep breaths while I sift through your file a little bit here.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back on the record. Let's see, I do have in file number ending in 2659. A misdemeanor complaint. The allegations are that on or about September 2nd, 2025 at 111 North Grand Avenue, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan. That you allegedly in counts 1, 2, and 3 committed the act of malicious destruction of personal property, 200 or more, but less than $1,000. And that in each count you did willfully, maliciously destroy or injure a Mazda automobile in count 1, a Chevrolet automobile in count 2, and in count 3, a Hyundai automobile. In count 1, the property or personal property belonging to a Cassandra Daytona Little, property in count 2 belonging to an Ashley Marie Temsey, and property in count 3 belonging to a Abelardo Martinez. And the amount of the destruction or injury was $200 or more, but less than $1,000. Each count is in violation of Michigan Compiled Law 750.377A1CI. It's a misdemeanor in each count. Maximum penalty 1 year and or $2,000 in fines, or 3 times the amount of destruction or injury, whichever is greater. You understand the charges and the maximum penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you have the right to an attorney in that. You have the right to proceed to a trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence, and you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the prosecutor prove each element of the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. You can maintain your silence and not have silence be used against you, or you can waive silence and testify at your trial. You have the right to have witnesses subpoenaed to testify on your behalf, and the right to see, hear, or question any other witnesses called to testify against you. You understand those rights?
Yes.
You requesting the public defender?
Yes.
The court's entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Looks like you were just before Judge Ward yesterday. Is that correct?
Yes.
On an aggravated domestic violence. So you have an allegation now of a bond violation for the new file being picked up, because the allegations are that when you were taken into custody, it says there was a strong odor of intoxicants emanating from your person. That's the only allegation at this time, but you're also in violation of not picking up any new cases while your other case was pending. So you have the right to have a contested hearing on the violation and the right to be represented by the public defender's office during that hearing. If you are found to be guilty of your bond conditions, your bond can be revoked. You can be sentenced to a contempt of court, 93 days in jail, and or up to $7,500 in fines per violation. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, lastly, there is a violation, pedestrian violation, that it looks like you defaulted on allegedly August 15th at 3:33 in the morning at the area of South Cedar Street in K North, Lansing, Michigan, that you were cited for pedestrian violation, walking in the roadways where a sidewalk was present. You had a court date to which you failed to appear, so a default judgment was entered on August 25th, and a penalty has been added. You owe $155, it says. When are you going to pay that?
I don't have any money.
Are you employed?
Nope.
Okay, we'll have that set for show cause before the judge that's assigned, she can determine the ability to pay. Let's see. We obviously know that you have a case pending. You're not employed in the address it gives is for 430 North Larch for you. Is that correct?
They changed addresses over to Walnut.
What's the address now?
I don't know it. I don't have a phone. It keeps getting stolen.
You don't have a phone? You said?
Keeps getting stolen. Yep,
Oh.
keeps getting stolen along with my ID and my social.
Alright. We can address before I'm bond.
Your Honor, I would ask to go for a PR bond in this matter. Understand that she has a prior case that we do not represent her on. The allegations in this case are MDOP, which are not really assaultive in nature. It was my understanding. In regards to flight risk, she's a Lansing resident. Lived in Lansing since 2022. So keeping that in consideration and the allegations in this case, I would ask to go for a PR bond in this matter. If she's gonna be remanded or anything in the other file, and a 10% bond.
Thank you. Although the allegations are malicious destruction of property, there are 3 separate counts. And no, they're not charged as assaultive, but they're highly dangerous. The allegations are that while these total strangers were driving down North Grand Avenue, which we know to be a very busy roadway, not very far from where the court is, not very far from where 430 North Larch is, that Ms. Williams was on the side of the road throwing rocks and bricks at the vehicles as they were driving. This is extremely dangerous. And this is after she has left court, because she saw Judge Ward yesterday in person. And so something needs to be done if true, that she presents a grave risk to the public safety, and she's out on bond. The personal recognizance bond will not be appropriate in this matter. Bond in the malicious destruction of property will be 1,010%. And then in the case that she has before Judge Ward, bond on the bond violation will also be 1,010%. And then the ticketed matter citation that she owes money on, that'll be set for a show cause hearing before the judge to determine ability to pay. She's all set for today. She's all set. She's free to go. This is the matter of the state of Michigan versus Paul Mollett, 25-01515, 22-03361. Appearances, please.
George Lynn, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Millett. Purposes of arraignment.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Mr. Millett. Okay, you're here because you failed to appear for sentencing. It looks like on July 25th. You had sentencing, you failed to appear. Look, you were supposed to meet with probation.
Your Honor, what happened with that is.
Wait. Not right now.
Okay.
Okay, looks like you were supposed to appear before probation. And you didn't do that. Judge Flores was nice and he held it for 48 hours before bench warrant was issued. And then the 2022 case, which has been pending since 2022 because you continue to fail to appear. You also failed to appear on June 23rd. And so Judge Flores was nice and he held it for 48 hours. And here we are today. Now, what is that you wanted to share, sir?
When I was released from Ingham County, I was walking, they opened the door to the cell. They had just put soap and on the water. I slipped, smacked my head on the ground, had a hernia, was left the hospital or left the jail in an ambulance. Was put into surgery at Sparrow Hospital. When I was at Sparrow Hospital, I knew I had my paperwork and they gave it to wherever. I don't know what was in the ambulance. I don't know where it went. I went right to surgery, was in the hospital for 3 days, left the hospital, just started walking around. True story, Your Honor. And then just started working again for the company. Complete building maintenance. That's what happened.
When you
That's
were
where we're
leaving,
at.
you're leaving where? Where were you leaving when this happened?
Hingham County Jail, Your Honor. I was
Okay,
6:30 in the morning, and I had all my. They have these great big totes now. They're so big and so heavy. I had the tote in my hand. I turned out the door. The second I hit 1 foot out the door of the cell, whoop, out I went. It's just what happened, Your Honor.
So you were still inside the jail when this happened?
Absolutely.
And the jail transported you to the
Sparrow
hospital?
Hospital. Absolutely.
When was this?
The day I got out of the jail, the day I was released.
What day was
I
that?
hadn't even been released. They took me from the tote to the floor to a chair. I had a hernia.
I'm asking you what day this was. What day was this?
I don't know the day I was released. I can't remember, Your Honor. I don't know the exact date. I won't lie to you. But the day I was walking out of the jail,
Oh.
I had and then I put me in the thing, and what happened was my stomach come into my urinal, but my lower, it was terrible. It was the worst experience of my life.
I can imagine. So when were you released from Sparrow?
I went in on that day. They went immediately in surgery. Then it was 3 days later, I was released.
Okay. And why have you not turned yourself in on the warrant then?
I didn't turn myself in, Your Honor, because I couldn't hardly walk because it was a low mid hernia. I couldn't even put my feet to the ground for 3 weeks. It's a true story, man. I couldn't even walk. I'm just now starting to walk. Really good.
I don't know.
I'm back.
I don't know if you noticed,
Thank
but I'm not a man.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yes.
I
am back to work, thank God, full time.
I was gonna bring that up. You last seen Judge Flores in May, okay? And so I don't know when you were released from custody, but I can only imagine that this unfortunate series or incident that occurred would have taken place on or around May. And you are now back to work, but you didn't turn yourself in on a warrant because you couldn't walk.
It wasn't because I couldn't walk, Your Honor.
Is that the story? Well, that's what you told me.
No, it wasn't that I couldn't walk. I'm just right now, I'm just starting to get back to, getting back to where I can do things and back out of my feet, really, Your Honor. That's best I got. But I mean, and I.
You could have, but you could have logged into Zoom. But you could have logged into Zoom for a warrant.
I was scheduled for Zoom, and when I was pushing the buttons for that, it didn't work. I tried. Look at my logins. You can see them right now. Because I did have.
I can't see them right now because you're in the jail and I'm upstairs in the courtroom.
My lawyer has it. I told my lawyer that too. I said, man, that you push the 4 things, it would never go in.
He's throwing you on the bus now, Mr. Ned.
No.
Mr. Ned, you're under the bus now.
I don't know which lawyer he's talking about.
You're assigned to Judge Flores' courtroom. So he's talking about you.
Oh, yes, yeah, right.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you didn't know your attorney was in here, did you?
Well, I told him that I didn't know my attorney, but he knows I told him. I said, man, I don't want to go to Zoom. It doesn't work. Or maybe it was my phone. I don't know.
Yeah. Here's the thing, sir, Mr. Millett. You missed court so many. We're dealing with a failure to obey from 2022 because you failed to obey your order to come to court multiple times.
Okay.
So even if we were to verify the story that you felt on the Ingham County Jail property and was transported. I'm not asking you to talk. I'm not asking you to talk anymore. Even if we were to verify that you were in the hospital for 3 days after falling at the jail when you were leaving, and it doesn't excuse that it is now September, and that was allegedly in May. And you've not turned yourself in on a warrant because you couldn't get yourself together and you're just getting on your feet and you can't walk, but you're back to work though, so you say. So both things can't be true. If you are together enough to go to work or be outside and do whatever you were doing outside when you got picked up?
I was
Because
just
you was
walking
obviously
down the
outside on
sidewalk.
your feet. You was outside on your feet when you got picked up on these warrants.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if you were able to do that, then you're able to say, hey, I've got pending charges that I probably better get my butt to court for. One of which
Yes.
originated as a felony, controlled substance possession. So because of that, you're not getting another personal recognizance bond.
I have some money.
Not for me, not for me.
I have some money in my, some money.
Okay, counsel, did you want to address bond?
Your Honor, due to the situation they conveyed on the record, I'd ask for a low 10% bond. Thank you.
I think
A
I got
bond is-
$84.
Okay, you've got to meet with probation, and that's never happened. So we got to get you a new referral to probation because Judge Flores had originally ordered that you meet with probation back on May 30th, and that didn't happen. So you're
Okay.
remanded to meet with probation. You're remanded to meet with probation
Okay.
so that they can do your pre-sentence interview, and it looks like you needed a substance abuse assessment, so that all needs to be done. Once those things are completed, your bond in that file can revert.
I'll take $84 with me if I can use that.
Can you stop disrupting me, please? It's definitely not gonna be $84. It's definitely gonna be what Judge Flores put on the file, which is 1,010% on that file. That's on that file. On the other file, the failure to obey, that's been pending since 2022. Bond in that matter will be 510%. No PR for 21 days on that file. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set.
So I mean, I get, yeah, 21 days.
You're remanded as a break.
Oh, you can pay the $50 or we'll sit there for 21 days. And by then, hopefully Judge Flores will have resolved the matter. Let's see. Last case I have, State of Michigan versus Amber Ross, 25-02660. Appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. George Smith. This is public defender on behalf of Mr. Ross. Purposes of arraignment only today, entering plea of not guilty.
Thank you. The court will enter a plea of not guilty on her behalf. She's requesting the public defender, you said?
Yes.
Okay. You're Miss Amber May Ross?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Ross, I do have a misdemeanor complaint charging you with domestic violence, alleging that on September 2nd, 2025 at 1504 Rio Road, City of Lansing, Ingham County, and that you did allegedly make an assault or assault and battery upon a Jeffrey Allen Kundrat, a resident or former resident of your household, or an individual with whom you have a dating relationship, and that this was against Michigan Compiled Law 750.812. It's a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. You understand the charges? Okay, let's see. You have the right to counsel if questioned by law enforcement or if you appear in court on this matter. The public defender has noted that you are requesting they represent you in this matter, so the plea of not guilty will be entered on your behalf. You have the right to proceed to jury trial and the right to require the prosecutor prove each element of the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You're scheduled for me for pre-trial Monday, September 15th at 10:30 a.m. Did you get a notice to appear, ma'am?
Okay.
You have a notice to appear? It looks like you do. I see a blue paper and that's Zoom instructions, correct?
Yeah, September 15th at 10:30 a.m.
That is correct. Okay, you have the right at the time of trial to the presumption of innocence and the right to require the prosecutor to prove your guilt, the right to see, hear, or question any witness called to testify against you, the right to subpoena witnesses to testify on your behalf, the right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. You understand each of those rights?
Yes,
Are you currently on probation?
no, Your Honor.
Are you on parole?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any other court criminal matters pending?
I think I have one in Gladwin, like from 7 years ago. I don't know what the, I mean, I know what's going on with it, but, I think I was, pulled over not too long ago and they said I still had the warrant and I have to call them and get it taken care of. But it's been like
Domestic
7 years.
violence warrant
Yes, ma'am.
from 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
I see, let's see what happened with this case, or she pled guilty on that one. Are you employed?
No, ma'am, not right now. I get disability for mental problems.
What's your home address?
Actually, that was, I had a question about that. I had just moved in, but I wasn't moved in. Like, I had some stuff there, but my regular address is 1217, like on my ID. That's my address. I just was going to stay with them for a couple days to see how, it would work out, and obviously did not work out.
Let me stop you. 1217, what is your address?
Vermont Avenue.
That's where you're gonna be living?
Yeah.
In Lansing?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, what's your phone number?
I don't have one currently, but it's turned off. I can give you my phone number and I'll get it turned back on. I get paid tomorrow, or if it's the third
What's the phone
today.
number?
It's 517-894-4658.
You can address bond counsel.
And I asked for a PR bond in this matter. Yeah, as the court knows, these are mere allegations, and in my consultation with Ms. Ross, I believe she may have a defense in this matter. Given the fact that this is only individualized to one individual, and based on my what she reports to me, and most of her criminal history revolves around retail frauds and substance possessions or uses, very minimally, maybe just some to one in regards to assault of the nature. Based on the circumstances conveyed, I'd ask for a PR bond, Your Honor. If not, a low 10% bond. She does get paid tomorrow, to my understanding, for disability.
She's got a pending warrant for 5 years. How is she? I mean, that's a problem. Well, why are you taking care of this warrant, ma'am?
It's like 150 miles away. I do have a license, and I talked to them. They want me to go up there. I mean, I don't know if they want me to turn myself in, but it never was pursued because the person that, because I've never
Okay.
charged.
Let me stop you because I don't want you to go into facts because it is a domestic. So you're saying they're requiring you to get up there, you don't have a way to get there?
Yes. I don't have a car. I don't have a license.
All right. Okay, I understand. Okay.
But I can take care of it. I need to get a car. And so if I get my license, I can get my license back. I just have to pay it like 200 and something to get my license back and then get a car and then I'm gonna do it.
Bond is set at 500 personal recognizance while out on bond. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You need to come to all of your court dates. You're not to possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. No contact with the alleged victim in this file, Jeffrey Kundrat. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
You're not to be within 2,000 feet of wherever he is. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And we'll see you at your next court date. You have any questions?
Yes, I have one question. Okay, I take psych meds. I got, clothes. All I have is with like my wallet. How do I get my stuff? I know like a third party or how would I do that?
I'll allow you to send a third party to get your belongings, but you can't go and you can't have communication with him. You can't send any messages through the third party just to get your stuff.
Yeah, I've never experienced having to go get my stuff. So just somebody that he likes. What if my phone's there? I can't call nobody.
Ma'am, that's not for the court to figure out. You could even wait. If you must wait, you have to ask your attorney, but the court can't figure out how you're going to get your things. The only thing I can do is issue a no contact order, and that's for the protection of the alleged victim. And it's also for your protection because let's say, because you're innocent until proven guilty. Let's say this is someone that's making a story up on you. He's completely lying. You don't want to be at his house and then he lies again and says that you did something to him. So it's for your protection as well. So it doesn't have to be someone that he likes. It just has to be someone trustworthy to go and get your things. And you've got to figure that out. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right. You're all set. You're all set.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.